What's up, people? It's Sunday, and as you know, Sundays are for driving. So we're up here again on Angeles Crest, and we're gonna do a little bit of driving. I'm Pouria. I'm here with Esan, and we're gonna be taking his BMW 330 Ci ZHP up for a drive on Angeles Crest. So let's get to it. One more thing.
Welcome to the Sunday Club.
I'm gonna start off by saying that, first of all, the E46 is my favorite generation of the 3 Series, and I think that the ZHP package, the sport package for the 330, is actually the perfect E46. The ZHP package actually had sportier camshafts that would bump the power of the engine from 225 on the regular 330 to 235 horsepower, and the rev limiter has been moved from 6400 to 6800, which is always welcome. The suspension was improved. The car sits a little bit lower and it handles just a little bit better than your average 330. Visually, the differences that you see between the ZHP and the regular 330 are mostly the bumpers. They look more sporty. The wheels look amazing, actually. I think these actually look better than the M3 wheels. The suspension is a lot lower. It's stiffer. Overall, it looks better, I think it's safe to say. The wheels have the M logo on them. The suspension is sportier, so it gives you a little bit better handling as well. And the steering rack itself is a little bit heavier. It's a little bit stronger for more heavy-duty driving. Flat 6 3-liter engine, and mated with a 6-speed manual transmission. Beautiful BMW engine bay.
It's an M54 engine. Yeah, BMW made this car from 2003 to 2006. My car is a 2004, and I was able to find a manual transmission. This is basically a daily drive M3 package, and that's why I love this car so much.
So since we're talking about practicality, it's probably also worth mentioning that the fuel economy is about 20 in the city and 28 on the highway, so not too bad. The reason why I think it's the perfect E46, and I know it can be controversial because a lot of people love the M3, but with this car you get the accountability and the relative reliability of a regular 330, but a little bit of a welcome bump in performance, of course. However, you don't get the well-deserved reputation and the dirty looks that M3 drivers get, so that's always good. I personally love the design of the exterior because it's sort of a transition between the old BMWs, the really boxy ones, into the modern ones, but I personally think that this was the very last of really good BMW design.
Yeah, this car came out in 2003, and I was always in love with the E46 body. I think the exterior design is timeless. This car is 14 years old and it still fits in pretty good with other cars. Imagine in 2003 you would be driving this car and it's pretty badass, I think.
Let's go ahead and show you the interior. Again, more or less the classic E46 interior. You have a little bit of carbon fiber trim to help you feel more like you're in a sporty car. You have your navigation system right over here and your instrument cluster. Your shifter knob has the M logo, which is pretty cool. Sportier seats. You got the M logo on your steering wheel. One thing that's characteristic of pretty much every 3 Series is the fact that you have a very subtle hint of your interior space having a little bit of a driver-centric feel. And that's accentuated by the fact that your center console is actually tilted a little bit towards the driver. And as subtle as it is, it's kind of cool. Your rollover protection. All right, and we're ready to head up. All right, so we're hitting the road and we're heading up. What the Now that we're up and we're finally driving, there's something interesting that I would like Ehsan to explain to all of you. Ehsan is one of my closest friends, and he's kind of dumb, let's be honest. So what he did to buy this car, Romeo would not do for Juliet. So why don't you explain?
That is kind of true.
Why don't you explain how you acquired this car?
When I came to America, somebody told me that there was this specific package that was only sold in the States. I started doing research and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I really want this car now. So I started my search for the car, and all the ZHP packages that were for sale in LA were automatic transmission, and I didn't really want to get an automatic. And the only one that I found was in Cortez, Colorado. It was on Craigslist. It had like really poor images. I was kind of hopeless. I was like, okay, I'll just give it a shot, whatever.
So he flew to Colorado with a one-way ticket?
Yes, I flew to Colorado, and the first time I ever drove this car, I fell in love with it. I was like, this car is awesome. I want it no matter what. Yeah, I just bought it like that, and then
he drove it back from Colorado.
Yeah, and then I drove it back to LA, which took me like 3 days, but that was probably one of the best road trips that I've ever gone on, although I was alone by myself.
He was by himself?
By myself.
So he's leaving out a couple of very important details. One, his trip to Colorado, he missed his flight a couple of times.
Oh, I missed, yeah. My flight was at 9 a.m. and I got there, I got to the gate 2 minutes late, and they closed the gate. They didn't let me on the flight, and I had to wait 8 hours at the airport. Yeah.
And then so when he gets to see the car and he starts driving it, the car had been sitting for so long that it had flats on the tires. So he starts feeling these vibrations and he gets scared, and he's like, what is this?
Yeah, we drove it around for like 10 minutes and it was fine. So I was just sitting in the garage, and the bottom of the tires had got a little bit flat.
There's this general perception of convertibles that they're not as stiff as coupes, and for the most part it's true, but with this specific car, the E46, the chassis of the convertible has been strengthened. The sills are a lot stronger, and it is a lot more stiff than your normal convertible. And in fact, the coupe has nothing on the convertible as far as chassis stiffness is concerned. We are now on Mount Wilson, and we're about to enjoy some side-to-side movement and the and the beautiful feeling of oh jeez.
This is my second gear.
Oh my god. So I'm gonna get behind the wheel for a little bit and see how it feels. It's the first time in a very long time that I've driven this car, so my immediate reactions are gonna be very much real of driving it as if I've never driven it before. And let's be honest, I've never driven it on a canyon road. The shifter feels like it's a lot shorter than your average manual transmission too, which is good. Oh! I've driven a regular 3 Series before, and this is absolutely nothing like it. It's like a completely different car.
Fallback for driving a convertible is that you don't have the ocean handle here, so
that's true.
I can't grab anything.
I actually love the steering. It's probably one of my favorite things about the car, and I've experienced it from driving it in the past. It's just the right amount of road response and just the right amount of weight, and it handles so well, so nice, really smooth. It feels great. Ah, yeah.
Is this your lookout?
Yeah.
Damn.
Alright, it's been a fun day up here on Angeles Crest with my bestie Ehsan. We're gonna wrap it up, but before we do, we gotta get the opinion of the one and only Pouria the Persian. Oh look, is it a BMW? Oh, it is a BMW. Okay, it is a BMW. Oh look, it is a BMW. Look, it is a BMW. Okay, hello, in front of my house, beautiful house here in Beverly Hills. Okay, first of all, there is two things that I like about this car. One, it is a BMW. Number two, it is black. Okay, first of all, I think it is good. It is a good car because it has 4 seats. There is 2 seats in the back, which mean I can bring my cousins, and I can, even though I don't like to drive with the top down, because I like to wear my hat when I am driving, I can always do this. So I like it because it is black, and a black BMW, it's very good, and it is a car that I can be proud to drive in front of my cousin and my friends and go to Beverly Hills and drive. Alright, so that's our show for this week, and we'll see you next week for another edition of the Sunday Club. Peace out, people.